Hey guys. So today, I know I'm super late, but I'm going to be filming the 2019 team project pan that Kat and Haley from Beauty News started. It's a full face rolling project pan, and it's split up by season, so there's 4 different parts, and each one are 3 months long. At the end of the 3 months, you can switch out different products. If they just aren't working for that season, or you've decided not to pan them anymore. But all the time you're supposed to have one in each category that you've chosen, and you can roll them out every time that you hit your goal. So I went and I got a scale for this project so that I could take like some measurements. I'm keeping track of everything in this notebook. So I figured let's just get started. So there's a category for almost everything in your daily routine, and I've decided not to use some of them. And so let's start. I have the primer category. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Prime Blur and Smooth, and my goal is to use up half of this product. I'd say that it's fairly full. It has opaque packaging, and it's pretty solid. It's not like there's a big air pocket or anything in it. And the initial weight for this is 34 grams. So hopefully I can use up half of it. I try to use it every time that I do a full face, and that's not often, but I will try and get better with using it underneath my eyes for my concealer as well. So that's the first one. My second product in this project is my concealer. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and so you can see I don't have very much left. It's like a tiny bit. I've been trying to use this more often, and it's in the shade 110, so it's the lightest shade in the foundation range. It pretty much matches me, but the liquid version is way too dark. It does not match me at all. So I'd say that I've had this for probably a year and some, and like I said, there's just a tiny little bit in there. It'll be gone in a little bit. I use it as sort of a spot foundation, kind of like concealer, because it fits my skin tone really well. And the past few days I've been using it to carve out my brows for a more natural look, and that's really been like cutting down on how much product there is. So that'll be out in the next month or two, I imagine. Next product, and the weight for that is 23 grams, so most of that is probably the packaging because there's not much product left. The next one is concealer, and I'm using the No Filter Concealer by ColourPop. You can see there's a tiny little gap where I've used up the product at the top, and I just have a goal to use this more. It's in the shade Fair 02, so it is actually a little bit light for me. I can get away with using it on my under eyes as long as I blend it out really well, and I'm using more of a full face sort of like look, not natural eyes or anything like that. So I mostly use this to carve out my brows, and that's like one little concealer swipe on the back of my hand that I use. So it'll be slow progress, but it is a very good product. I like it. I just wish that it was easier to find your shade online because they don't sell in store. So if I use up most of this, then I definitely go and I'd buy a different shade. That one that would probably fit me more as like a concealer or a foundation, because I would like to try that. The next category that is technically in the project is bronzer, and I've decided not to use that, at least in this season, because it's winter right now. And I am a little bit pale for the bronzer that I usually use, and I just don't think that it looks super good on me in the winter. Maybe fall and summer, but definitely not winter and spring. So the next one that I have is the blush, and I am using Tarte Party. I don't know how well I can show you this because it has a lot of like powder at the top right now. So I've repressed this once now, and that was because I hit like decent amount of pan and like just the way that I was using my brush, I couldn't really pick up product. Like I could, but I just wanted to repress it and see. So my goal is to hit pan for the second time, and the weight right now for blush, which is D, is 18 grams. So I imagine most of that is the packaging, because there's only supposed to be 1.5 grams in here, and I've already hit pan once. I haven't been using blush super often recently because it's winter, so I just feel like it makes my skin look really dark and flushed, especially when like going outside already makes my skin look really blushed up. So I will be continuing to dip into it maybe like once or twice a week, but I definitely use it more in the summer, spring, and fall than ever in winter. The next category I have is highlighter, and I'm going to be using the ColourPop Over the Moon highlighter. It's the Super Shock formula, and let's get a closer look at that. So if you're familiar with this formula, it's very bouncy, buoyant sort of like formula. I really like how it looks. I don't really think you can be able to see it. It's a very nice purple shift. I really like wearing purple makeup, and I've hit pan a couple times in it, but of course it just smushes right back together again. So I'm going to be going mostly off the weight. I would like to hit clear pan in it. So it is 29 grams right now. And how I really like to use it is to dip into it with a sponge and then pat it on my skin, because it gives a really opaque finish instead of just like little specks of purple glitter everywhere. And I think that like if I use it once a week or twice a week, then I will be able to accomplish that goal by the end of the first season. For eyeshadow, I have another ColourPop shadow. So this is the shade Daddy, and let's see, you could kind of see that it's cracking up at the top. I don't know, this is a really weird shadow. I had never gotten a matte shadow from ColourPop in their Super Shock range before, and I love the shade so much that I just decided to try it. I don't really like it that much. It doesn't look the same as it does in the pan on my eyes, and it's really hard to like apply, because if you decide to use it with your finger, which is the best way to get the color payoff, it's really hard to blend out. But then if you use a brush, it's really hard to build up the pigment. And so I have a goal of using it to hit clear pan. I'm probably going to focus on the middle where the little like not indent but like protrusion is, and that way I can hit it. It is kind of drying up, so depending on how long it takes, I might end up decluttering that, because I honestly just don't use the Super Shock shadows that often. I don't really like the formula. And I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's just my chair whenever I move back and forward. So I have a goal on this eyeliner. This is the NYX White Liquid Eyeliner. And I'd say that I've had it for at least a year. I know I got it at an Ulta with my mom when I was going pants shopping. So this was definitely before I was like super into makeup, but I was like trying to get into it. Like I just wanted to go to an Ulta. And let's see, it is 9 grams. So my goal is to use this once a week, and I have not accomplished that so far. I've been trying to work on some of these products for the couple weeks of January that I've already missed in this project, but it does crack. It feels really heavy on my eyes. I can't use it next to my eyelashes because it makes them very weighed down, and I can't put mascara on very well afterwards. So I have to use this in like small doses with the right eyeshadows, everything. So either way, it probably needs to get tossed eventually. So after this project, I'll definitely be looking at what I have in my collection, especially since I'm going off to college soon. So there won't be room to take everything in my makeup collection with me. So that is my goal on that one. I hope to try and remember to use it. The next category is mascara, and I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but I always use a mini. I don't really know what I would do with a full size because I don't use all the product in a mini in the time that it takes to throw it out. So, let's see. I think this is 12 grams of packaging slash product, and there's supposed to be 4.8 grams in here. I've already used it for a couple of months, and my goal is just to use it until February. I use mascara every day when I do my makeup, so it should get used up naturally. But of course, I need to throw it out eventually. The next product is brows, and I've decided to use the Kat Von D Super Brow, and my goal is to hit pan. That's a very lofty goal. So the starting weight for this is 49 grams. And of course that is because it has glass packaging. And then you can see my progress. It does have a you might be able to see like this, the side a little bit. It does have considerable progress. I've been trying to use it a couple times a week, every time that I dye my hair and when it's a little bit more pink. And mostly, I really like this product. I wish that Kat Von D was not so controversial because I would love to support her products. But this is the only one that I own, and I got it the summer right before the big controversy came out about her being anti-vax, and so then I decided that I wouldn't buy anymore, even though I really wanted more of the other brow products. So that really sucks, but I do believe that I found a good dupe for it in the Makeup Forever pencil range, like the artistry pencils, and they say that you can use them anywhere on your face, including your brows. I looked at a lot of swatches, and I think that I found a really good dupe for that shade, but obviously I have a lot of product left to use, and so I would like to get use out of it and not just declutter it because of the person that owns the brand, because I've already bought it. My next product is cream lipstick. So I have the Katy Kat Matte lipstick, and this is a CoverGirl collab. This was actually one of the first products that I got when I got into makeup. So you can kind of see it's not looking the best. It's kind of sweating. I don't know whether to be concerned about that or not. But it is a vibrant purple. It doesn't really fit with too many of my looks nowadays. I used to wear it all the time, but it's also in the shade Cosmo Kitty, in case you were wondering, and it is 22 grams or 2 centimeters long, and my goal for this is to use half of a centimeter this season. What I've been doing to try to accomplish that is I can put it on as a lipstick at the beginning of my routine and then wipe it off, and it'll leave my lips really stained with this like nice pink, sort of purpley but mostly pink shade, and I really do like doing that. It fits in really well with my lifestyle because I can't wear lipstick every day to school. It just doesn't work. I try and drink water and tea, and I play the flute in the morning, so it just does not work to come to school wearing lipstick. The other way that I've been trying to use this up is by applying it as a cream blush. So that's another reason why I haven't been making super good progress with the Tarte blush, because I've been using the lipstick, and so I'll just put it along my cheekbones. I usually try and keep it higher because if I take it too low it looks really purple and I can't get it to blend out enough. So I'll just put it on and then I'll blend it out with the sponge, and that's how I try and use this up. So far I haven't used it up very much. I've been using it as a blush, I don't know, every other day, and it has not made a whole lot of progress. So the other lipstick category is liquid lipstick. I think my sister just woke up. And I'm using the Tarte lipstick in Valor. So it's this tiny little sample size that I got for Christmas several years ago. Maybe not this past Christmas, but the last Christmas. And this is 12 grams total. It claims to have, well, 1 milliliter in there. So I have used it a bit. That's what I'm using on my lips today. But like I said, I don't wear lipstick every single day. If I do, then I'm usually going for a matte lipstick. So these work really well. I do like the matte formula. Some of them work way better than others, and some of them stain your lips really strongly. You can barely get the lipstick off, when others are softer and creamier. So I'd say that's one of the harder ones to get off your lips if you decide that you don't want to wear a bright red lipstick that day. But in general, even though I like the Tarte lip formula, first of all, I don't need any more lipstick because I don't wear it, and I have way too many as it is. And also, I've just decided that Tarte doesn't really interest me as a brand. I don't like their lipsticks enough to justify buying from them. So I'd much rather buy a new brand of lipsticks, or even the Too Faced Melted Matte ones. I have a sample of that and I really like the formula. So I'd much rather try a different brand once I've gone through most of these Tarte lipsticks. So we have a page turn here. We're almost to the end of the project. So I have a lip balm, and this is a Hershey's Kiss lip balm, and there's not much to show you on the side. It's pretty much flat and is kind of concave now. So I've been trying to use this every single night and every day. It sits by my bedside table. I've had this for several years. I used to be a chapstick fiend, and so everybody would get me chapstick for holidays, birthdays, whatever. They'd bring them home from like trips and stuff, and that was like my gift. It was a souvenir of lipstick or chapstick. And so I got that from like sort of a family friend at the time, but they aren't anymore. So rather than throwing it out, because I did have a lot of product still left when they became not family friends, I decided to use it up and just use it as a bedtime lip balm, because it does have a brownish yellow tint to it because of the chocolate flavor. And so, like I said, I'm almost done with this. I should be hitting pan any time now, because I don't believe it goes too much further into the threads area. But of course we'll see. And let's see, that is 16 grams total right now. The next category is nail polish. So I'm using this Sally Girl, oops, you can't see the name, Sally Girl purple nail, it says just nail color. And it's a mini. It hasn't been used that much, and I've been trying to use it once or twice a week. I've been trying to get back into using my nail polishes more because I want to declutter some of them. I'm pretty much the only one who uses nail polish in this house, so a lot of them have gone off from when we first bought them, like 5 years ago probably. And so that one is a very subtle, it doesn't have a lot of color payoff. It's mostly like purple shimmer and a clear coat. So I can actually wear it at work, which makes it super easy to wear through the week. And I actually need to redo my nails right now, because even though it doesn't chip off very easily, it has chipped a little bit. I've been wearing it for about a week and a half, so it does need to get redone. And I've been keeping it on my desk here, so hopefully I'll be able to make some progress on that. And the weight for that is 21 grams. So I'm sure that most of it is from the glass packaging, but we will soon find out if I can use even a tiny bit of the, I keep on wanting to say lipstick, but it's nail polish. The next category is fragrance. And so I have this little sample. It is not what the bottle says it is. It's the Atelier Orange perfume. And I have just random samples that I've gotten from Sephora when I buy online. And so I decided to use this up. It's also in another project pan of mine, but my goal is to use a lot more of my perfumes this year. I've timed how long it takes me to generally use up a perfume if I'm using it every day, and it's about 3 months for a mini. So I have quite a few stacked up on my dresser, and I would like to get them moved out. I don't really use perfume that often, and if I do, I'd almost rather use an essential oil or one of the custom perfumes that I have. So I would really like to get that on in my collection. The only thing is it's kind of a strong scent, so I can't put it on right when I start doing my makeup because my hands are in my face, and I usually forget if I don't put it on right away. So that's kind of the struggle with that product. Also, I do not have a weight for that because you can see visible progress. So the next product is a body product. I decided not to put one in for winter because I just naturally use lotions up. I just finished a body lotion, and so I decided not to put one in because I'm starting a new one. And I did originally want to put a hand cream in, but it's super heavy, and so I wouldn't really make a lot of progress on it. Anyway, I'm going to be continuing on to a skincare product. So I have this Ultra Calming Relief Mask by Dermalogica, and I do not have it marked, but it's rather opaque. I'm trying to put it in the light. Okay. So it's about down to like where the R starts on the Dermalogica, and so I think that I can use this up pretty quickly in this season because when you put it on, it's a very clear, light product, and you can really pack a lot on. It doesn't really set down. It just kind of stays gel-like. So I wouldn't say that it's a super useful product. Like, it's supposed to be calming, but it doesn't do much. It doesn't really feel moisturizing. It doesn't do anything for me. Also, I've had a lot of these like little sample products for years and years, like since the beginning of middle school, and I really just need to get them out of my collection. I'm working on panning some other skincare products, so I might go through what my skincare routine is. I might do that in another video. Anyway, that is 18 grams. I also have a hair product. I thought I'd just throw it in because there was a category for it. And I have the finishing paste. This is by Garnier, and it's the Fruited style. So I can open this up and show you. Honestly, I got this at the beginning of high school when I got my hair cut, and I don't style my hair. I just kind of let it do whatever it does, which is why it looks really weird right now, because I slept on it and then just didn't want to do anything. I put product in it, but it didn't work. So I have left this out on top of my turntable where I keep all of my skincare products, and I haven't been using it that much, but I would like to make some progress on it. I think it will also encourage me to do my hair more, I don't know, care in the morning. But I like I said, it doesn't fit well into my lifestyle because of how much time that I'm spending at school. Like, I get up at 5:30 in the morning, and so I don't really have the motivation to do my hair then. So and it doesn't last well through the day when I'm staying at school until 4:30 or 5:30 at night. So that is 71 grams. I'm sure that quite a bit of it is the packaging, but it does say it has 57 grams in it. So that is, significant. Also, let's see. I need to move the camera, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to move you guys down because I was using some of my palettes to prop up the camera. So the last thing that I have that's sort of honorarily in this project is my Modern Renaissance palette. And this is my pan lap palette for 2019. It's also being included in the post for my moving out project pan, which you can find on my Instagram. And so I figured I'd just give a visual update on it. So this will look a little bit different than what was on my Instagram, because I did that at closer to the beginning of the month, and it's been about a week. I just looked at the progress. Just looked at the progress pics this morning, and I have made a little bit more progress since then. So I don't want to bend this all the way. So I've got pan in quite a few different shades. I have it in Tempera, in Golden Ochre, in Primavera pretty well. Let's see, Love Letter, Warm Top, and Cypress Umber. So you can also see dips in a lot of the other shades. I try to use them pretty evenly. Today I'm wearing Raw Sienna and Primavera, and Red Ochre. I've been trying to dip into that little quad of Bonfresco Antique Bronze, Red Ochre, and Vietnam Red, because I don't use it that often. They aren't my favorite shades on the palette. I've also been trying to make good progress on the oranges this month with Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, and Realgar. Probably Raw Sienna is my goal for the next pan, and then just spreading out my use through the rest of the palette. I've been trying to use Tempera every day to blend out my brow bone, especially if I forget to use highlighter there. Golden Ochre is another shade that I've been trying to blend things out with. Primavera, I've been using a smaller brush to try and concentrate where I dip into the pan, because the pan is getting so big, and because of the corrosion on the pan, I don't really want to tear it out and repress it in there. If I do, then I'd try and find some other container to repress it in. And then let's see, Warm Top I've been using in my brows on some days when I do a little bit more natural brow, and then the rest of the palette is just kind of natural use. So I really would like to use that up by the end of 2019. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going off to college this year, so that palette will carry over into that move if it's not done, obviously. Right now it weighs 188 grams, or like when I did the initial weigh-in. And obviously it's one of my favorite palettes, and I would just really like to get the most use out of it, because I know that it doesn't have the longest shelf life, and it's probably one of the oldest palettes that I own. So anyway, that was a really long intro to my 2019 Team Project Pan, and I will be using the hashtag so that you can check out everybody else that's doing these videos, and I hope to see yours as well. So bye guys.